sex cannot be changed. Every single human being is either female or male. And by the way, that applies to people who have differences of sexual development. How many women and girls have to be hurt before our society acknowledges that, and our lawmakers and our laws acknowledge that? How many women in prison have to be raped? How many teenage girls have to be subjected to men walking around with erect penises in bathrooms and spas before our society comes to grips with the reality of what is going on? I consider feminism to be a political movement to liberate women and girls from male oppression. In contemporary society, what is generally taken to be feminism is not feminism at all. The movement to sort of promote the idea that men can be women is fundamentally anti-feminist, it is anti-woman, and it is very politically regressive. Nonetheless, it is often assumed that people who promote the idea that men can be women are actually feminists, but that's a misunderstanding. Everybody at the end of the day knows that men are male and women are female, but we seem to be in this very confused place where some people are insisting on redefining the word sex to include the phrase gender identity, but nobody has really properly defined that term. My party has been pushing this gender identity agenda in law and throughout society, and it's terrible for women and girls. We currently have pending before Congress, it's currently before the US Senate, something called the Equality Act, which would completely redefine sex to include gender identity for virtually all purposes under US civil rights law. And from my point of view, that would be devastating for women and girls. The abolition of sex, the obliteration of the material reality of biological sex should scare everyone. There's an evolutionary biologist by the name of Colin Wright who talks about this in terms of evolutionary biology. And he says that if we allow the notion of biological sex to be obliterated in society, we have lost our tether to reality. And he's exactly right. Every single person is either female or male. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Transgender isn't real. It was simply made up to persuade people that there's some coherent category of people for whom sex is irrelevant. That is not true, and we should not be afraid to say so, regardless of where we land on the political aisle. Rank and file Democrats reach out to me all the time, every day. I hear from Democrats on social media and in my email who tell me that they are absolutely fed up with what the Democratic Party is doing on this topic. And some of them say they'll never vote Democrat again. Some of them say that they have unregistered with the Democratic Party and re-registered as independents. I know at least 2 women who voted for Donald Trump last year because of this issue.